Hello, welcome to the Sound of Science, the place where we deconstruct unscientific bogus and silly scams. Let's go get them. Hello, you wonderful critical thinkers. Recently, the community of Christian apologists, they had a party. They were all filled with excitement because the supposedly smartest man in the world has confirmed that a God exists. How exciting! And therefore it must be true. That is how Christian apologists think, because that apparently is the quality of evidence that they require in order to accept a claim. Yeah, if someone says something that they like, then they will immediately cry victory and announce it to be true. Well, let's see what's going on here and apply some actual critical thinking, shall we?
Hello everyone, this is Highest IQ Man YoungHoon Kim. In this video, I would like to declare the most important thing, the most important statement. I have two things now. First, God exists. Second,
meet YoungHoon Kim, a man from South Korea who claims to have the highest IQ in the world. He says his IQ is 276. Excuse me, 276? That sounds like total nonsense, because most internationally accepted IQ measurement systems max out at about 180 or 200. Within that range, the readings already become highly unreliable. Only 1 in about 6 million people has an IQ of 180 or higher. An IQ of over 200 would apply to about 1 in 75 billion people, which doesn't make any sense. Now, even if we had 1 trillion planets, each with an 8 billion population, we still wouldn't statistically expect to find one person, even one person, with an IQ of 276. So an IQ of 276 is a statistical impossibility. And furthermore, an IQ of 276 would require a set of human brains that is about 2 times larger than average. Such a brain does not fit in the head of this man. Therefore, a 276 IQ is also biologically impossible. Well, because of these statistical and biological impossibilities, most IQ scales simply stop at 180 or 200. There is no officially recognized, scientifically validated IQ scale that goes beyond the 200 limit. So claiming to have an IQ of 276 is a bit like claiming that you are right 10,000% of the time. So yes, claiming to have an IQ of 276 is total nonsense. So if this guy really claims that he has a 276 IQ, then what is his evidence for this 276 IQ claim? Well, his 276 IQ is certified by groups like the Official World Record, World Memory Championships, World Mind Sports Council, and Giga Society. Now, guess what? This guy holds official and influential positions in all of these organizations. He is council member, committee member, and even vice president in basically all of these groups. He is even founder of the United Sigma Intelligence Association, an organization that, guess what, also recognizes his 276 IQ claim. This guy is marking his own homework. First, he acquires an influential position in an organization, or even creates an entire organization. And then those organizations recognize his absurd IQ claim. His 276 IQ claim is not independently proven or verified. It is only promoted by those organizations that he himself and his friends are running. Yet again, this renders his IQ claim totally meaningless. Now, let's have a look at his credentials. He has a bachelor's degree in theology, which is nice for him, but not very impressive. He claims to have studied at King's College in London, but there is no public record of that, nor can he demonstrate that he has any diploma from King's College. He has 3 honorary doctorates at institutions that call themselves universities, being the Universidad Azteca, the European City University, and the American Management University. None of them are accredited by the US Department of Education, so that raises serious questions about their overall quality and recognition within the academic world. Note that honorary doctorates at these institutions don't mean anything. You don't have to study for it. You don't have to do research for it or write any kind of dissertation. They just grant these doctorates to people, often using shady internal committees and procedures that are not even made public and are certainly not peer-reviewed by scientists from accredited universities. The American University of Management mentions on their website that all fees collected through our honorary degree programs. Fees? What fees? It sounds like I can just buy one of your honorary doctorates if I pay for it. Why else would that program have fees? In that case, your honorary doctorates would be just fake academic degrees for frauds who are too lazy to go and study at a real university. Well, if all of that is true, then that would explain this totally ridiculous video of YoungHoon Kim delivering his supposed keynote speech while accepting his honorary doctorate at the American Management University. It's totally pathetic. Look at this. His name is not even on the screen. His degree is not even on the screen. His speech doesn't even have a name. He has to read the name of his degree and the name of the university from a piece of paper. Apparently, Mr. Big Brain couldn't remember that on his own.
And it is truly an honor to be here today to receive the Honorary Doctor of Science in Cognitive Science from the American Management University here.
Then he gets to repeat his ridiculous 276 IQ claim, and he tells his audience that he is known as the world's highest IQ person.
I am YoungHoon Kim from South Korea, also known as the world's highest IQ person. In 2024, I set the world record for the highest IQ with a score 276.
In an acceptance speech for an honorary doctorate, you tell that about yourself. Then he gets to promote his own brain research company that, as of today, has never ever produced any publicly available peer-reviewed study. We hear no mention of any verifiable accomplishments that he has reached which led to this honorary doctorate, and that's it. That is his self-appointed keynote speech. 3 minutes of blatant nonsense and audacious self-promotion. That is what you need to do to get an honorary doctorate at the American Management University, just so you know. Not having academic degrees does not mean that you can't have a high IQ, but claiming you've studied at King's College without any public record or diploma to show, and accepting meaningless honorary doctorates does make you look like a fraud. Now that we have established all of that, let's have a detailed look at what he exactly says and does in his video, in which he claims that a God exists.
Hello everyone, this is highest IQ man YoungHoon Kim. In this video, I would like to declare the most important thing, the most important statement. I have two things now. First, God exists. Second,
So in the first 15 seconds of his video, we don't see him saying or doing anything that would indicate some kind of remarkable intelligence. As it appears, he did not use his 276 IQ to master the English language in a remarkable way. In fact, his English is rather poor for someone who claims to have studied at King's College in London. Of course, normally I would never suggest that a limited capacity to speak the English language would exclude the possibility of having a high IQ, but this guy claims an IQ of 276. A 276 IQ would make you so smart that you could learn an entire language in less than 10 hours. Somehow he failed to do that. Despite his claim that he studied in London, neither does his supposed 276 IQ enable him to phrase his message without some kind of written assistance, because in his video he clearly and repeatedly looks to the right. For us as viewers, that would be to the left. highly suggesting that he is reading his message from a note or a cue card. Also, if he really were smart, he would understand that making such a blanket statement, such as a God exists, without any evidence or even some kind of argument to support it, is a meaningless claim, and the lack of any explanation on an intellectual or scientific level makes him look totally dumb instead of intelligent.
Please note that I hold a bachelor's degree in theology from Yonsei University from South Korea.
Wow, you have a bachelor's degree. Did you know that in 2030, 300 million people from all over the world will have a bachelor's degree? So that isn't much of an argument to demonstrate your supposed 276 IQ. In fact, do you even understand that having an academic degree doesn't prove you're right about anything? It's a totally useless statement for someone who likes to convince us of his top-level intellect.
If you want to prove that you're a very smart person, then show us some of your highly intelligent articles, theses or dissertations that you wrote in order to get all those academic degrees that you hold. Or even better, do a realistic proposal for a public IQ test that will be peer-reviewed by actual scientists. Or at least say something in your videos that sounds at least intelligent. Up to now I've heard you say nothing with any intellectual significance.
Second, we are in a simulation, 100% I believe. As mentioned before, assuming that AI or AGI, ASI continue to advance, just like we will be able to create highly advanced virtual realities.
And just when you thought it couldn't get more ridiculous, he proves you wrong. Sure, buddy, we live in the Matrix. And of course, you have no evidence whatsoever to support your silly claim.
And throwing in some AI-related buzzwords is not going to help you look more intelligent.
Lastly, I am not anti-atheist. I respect anti-atheists.
Yeah, nice. So you respect anti-atheist. So as the icing on the cake, you show us one more time that the supposedly smartest man in the world does not understand how language works, even when you had the opportunity to write and double-check your text in advance before reading it from a screen.
Dude, everything that I found out about you while making this video makes you look like a fraud who totally fakes his supposedly super high IQ. It's worse, you operate so incompetent, your claims are so incoherent, and your credentials are so suspicious that I wonder if your intelligence even is at an average level. Dude, stop pretending. A 276 IQ does not exist, and you know it. And making your own clubs and your own companies claim that you are the smartest man in the world makes you look dishonest. Thinking that we live in a matrix makes you look silly.
And accepting or even arranging for meaningless academic degrees is not only pathetic but damaging for actual science.
Stop it, dude. Grow up. Thanks for watching.